What's up, everybody, and welcome to No Bucks Given. As you may notice, we're down a couple, but we are going to make the best of what we can with what we have, which is not too much. What's up, Wendy? Bye, Wendy. Damn, fucking kids. These fucking kids.
He leaves.
She's a demon.
Move your foot. I can move the chair. There we go. Now we can get him in frame.
I'm
in a frame and just.
What's up, everybody in the chat? We got Alpha, Cody, Federico. So we have a couple topics. Some of them are more interesting than others, but unfortunately, like some of the people that contribute the topics are not able to be here. So we might gloss over some things as I don't give a fuck.
I agree.
But I don't know, whatever. We're going to be talking to the chat half the time anyway, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
So,
It's a conversation is going to create conversation, so.
yeah, there's like one obvious thing, and I'm at that point where yes, we should talk about it because we haven't, but after we talk about it, I never want to talk about it again.
Agreed.
It's like one of those things that's run the gauntlet.
And I know what you're talking about, and there's a reason why I don't want to talk about it, because the arguments...
Keep going.
The arguments are now null and fucking void. I am so fucking sick and tired of the fucking gun argument. I don't want to hear another person bitch about fucking gun problems. I don't want to fucking hear a goddamn word about it. That's all I'm saying. I'm so fucking annoyed. I am seriously... Look... And we might as well start with it. We trade a basketball player who brought drugs into another country, which is illegal in that country, Russia. Whether she did it on purpose or did it on accident or not, it's still a fucking crime. We trade her for an arms dealer. Now, the people that are running this country right now are always bitching about how mass shootings and fucking mass shootings and guns are the fucking problem. When we fucking trade a known arms dealer, he's sitting in our prison for a fucking reason. He broke our laws, and he's an arms dealer. If you don't know what an arms dealer is, they sell weapons of mass destruction. So I don't want to hear another fucking person bitch, piss, and fucking moan. Whenever I see the fucking, well, the guns, guns do this and guns do that. Guns don't do shit, motherfucker. The people do the shit. But the problem is we traded a guy who will fucking sell a gun to make a buck over a fucking woman who fucking, I don't care if she kneels for the national anthem or not. I don't care. But she doesn't, she's as un-American as the next fucking person.
I think like the core of the problem. I think the core of the problem too is, so there's a lot of things people don't know. Like, we don't know what offers were potentially on the table, or the only offer could have been her for him. There's a couple contributing factors here, and we've said it time after time with Brittney Griner. The celebrity around it has made this a viable option somehow. Like, this would have never happened ever if people weren't like bitching and moaning. Yes, you got fucking a WNBA player back, but what the thing is, what it actually looks like from any other country outside of America, he got fucking fleeced.
Yeah.
And it makes the country look somewhat weak. Because
we look like a bunch of fucking retards.
The biggest story that should be coming out of this is, yes, we got her home. Whoopie fucking do.
Well, I'm glad she's back. Nobody should be in jail overseas, especially like from what I understand, she had like weed oil cartridge with some like residue or whatever, like a bit left. I don't think it was a huge amount, but I don't think the argument is we should have left her there.
Here's the thing. You are not wrong, but again, their laws are their laws. She should have thought about what she was doing before she did it.
Or thoroughly checked her bag when she knows that she has that shit on her person.
You know where you're going, and you know you do this shit.
I'm telling you, if it wasn't the current government in place in America and that, I'm going to say, the social climate or whatever, she would have been in jail for the whole time she was supposed to.
Yeah, she would have been in for the whole 9 years. Meanwhile,
about that, I will say this. I think the previous administration would have tried to get her back, but they wouldn't have cut the deal that they fucking did.
No, it would have been somebody way minor, loose.
No, they probably said either you give us that Marine, or we're not fucking doing it.
That's the thing that's the point that I wanted to like kind of try to make. If they're not willing to throw in the Marine or do the Marine 1-1, America should have walked away. But the problem is, Biden administration, it's bad press if they don't bring her home, because a lot of the people they're trying to sway are, we want the LGBTQ crowd and we want the black community, and we can get them both with this one move. But it's about the wrong thing. You also fucking now, like, you're leaving someone that actually did something for the country as a Marine in prison. You're alienating certain people.
Here's what they did. They traded to get people to vote for them in the next election. But you know what they did? They fucking have no argument for gun rights anymore.
That's the thing.
I do not want to hear them bitch about fucking mass shootings. I don't want to hear another fucking liberal say one fucking word about we need to ban guns. No, motherfucker, we need to ban you and your fucking policies. That's what we need to fucking ban.
It's such a weird, like...
What they did is disgusting.
It's such a... Yeah, honestly, like, anybody that's looking at it from an outside, if any government, no matter where you live in the world, and the government is like, we're not going to bring home a Marine, someone that goes and fights for the country and may be asked to do stuff they don't want to fucking do, but they do it to honor the country, or we can bring home a celebrity, because that's what she is.
But on top of that, she's a celebrity who is barely fucking known, and she's only well known now because of this story.
She was pretty well known.
I mean, she's like one of the better WNBA players, but I can guarantee you, if she never got hooked and went to prison, 90% of the people you ask on the street would be like, who the fuck is that? Maybe even more. Maybe 98.5%.
People that are basketball fans would wholeheartedly...
Listen, people that are WNBA fans, not basketball fans.
Yeah,
and that's
not
a big crowd.
My question is she really even a fucking girl? That's
I mean, I've heard her talk, and holy fucking Christ.
You've seen her with a shirt on.
Yeah, there's some evidence out there. The thing that's more damning, because you can Photoshop the shirtless shit, but the voice, for fuck's sakes, man, she's got like fucking, she sounds like Darth Vader.
She's got a deeper voice than me.
Yeah, same. So I mean, she got to have balls somewhere in there.
I do want to say this, and I'm not against her coming home. Okay, she committed a crime. Their prison sentence is 9 years. But if we can get her home, let's get her home. But let's not just trade a 1-for-1 for an arms dealer. For an arms dealer.
But then
who? But the thing that this is, and
I know. Like my question,
in my mind that they fucking trade. This is the party.
Yeah, it's so wrong for them.
And they trade for an arms. They trade an arms for an arms. So I just cannot wrap my head around it.
Like sometimes there's certain things that happen, and as of late, more of these things have happened that make me feel like I'm living in the fucking clown world, where
Yeah.
nothing makes any fucking. It's fantasy land. That's a terrible fantasy half the time. It's like nothing makes any fucking sense. This is one of those things that really doesn't. I think everyone would agree. I don't think she should be in jail for 9 years for what she did. Hell, you got people serving in American jail for marijuana and cannabis that are probably looking at this being like, what the fuck? Let me out.
Well, that's the other thing that they are sprouted from this is they sit there and they said, okay, it's great that we're bringing Brittney home. Now, can we release the 400,000 others that are currently sitting in prison here in America?
Wouldn't that be the easier priority?
That is happening.
Yeah, it all depends on the sentence, because I mean, if you were distributing mass amounts of marijuana when it was illegal, you're going to go back to distributing mass amount of something that's illegal.
So this is the thing. If you're trafficking, see, now marijuana is legal. Everybody thinks that you can now buy it on the street corner. No,
you still need to go to a licensed vendor to get it.
It's like cigarettes, man. You have to go to a licensed vendor
and pay taxes on it.
It's the only way it'll work. And people are not fucking grasping that thought. Well, they need to release. Well, they were selling drugs illegally, and the mass amounts of drugs illegally. Because, see, the drugs that are sold on the street isn't just marijuana. There's other shit in there.
There's heroin, there's meth, there's PCP.
They're not in jail for the substance as much as they're in jail for the behavior.
Quantity.
You know, like if you could substitute marijuana with other drugs and be like, at the time when it was illegal, and be like, you're illegally contraband in some way or the other. So what you're involved in illegal activity, and that activity just doesn't go away. You'll come out and you have connections. Whoever's selling weed probably sells something else. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like that's on the American side of it. But in this whole thing, it's like I look at it and it's like they traded America traded Steph Curry for his brother Seth Curry.
Yeah,
it's like it's that. Like, what the fuck? And I think any other major power in the world is going to look at this and be like, there might be a problem, and there might be a big problem in America where like the idea of the social justice nature of America is taking over the legitimacy of America's military power. It just doesn't. It's not a good look. Is all I'm going to say.
Well, I 100% agree with you.
It's making us look like the laughing stock and pushovers. And now anytime any of our civilians that are overseas somewhere get arrested for something, this is what's going to happen. You want this person back? Give us back our bomb builder. Give us back this weapons dealer. Give us back this person.
I do have a couple
weapon.
I do have a question though. Like with him, he was an arms dealer. Like isn't that like illegal in Russia too? So, like, is he serving a sentence in Russia when he goes back?
Is he though?
That information has not been released.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, it's like.
And fine, good as well.
But then you're trading Russia in a time of war. You think they're gonna keep that guy in jail who can get the fucking arms? It's like, what? Okay. And then give all this money, and then give Russia an arms dealer.
So here's the thing: the American people need to know what deal was made. Is this guy going to sit in prison because it's illegal in their country too? It's still illegal in our country, right?
Prison in our country. That's what I said.
You say company.
I said country. You guys just heard me wrong.
No.
Said company. Market.
See, that's what Cody's saying. They left a Marine behind. That is something that is like blasphemy to me.
4 fucking years already.
Especially with the I think he's been there for 2 years, but he's already served 2 years or something. I don't know what it was, but
yeah, I don't.
The for like when I think America, I think of a lot of my thoughts go towards war because they've participated in so many, and it's the heroes coming back. I know before my time, a lot of the people that came back from war were treated terribly, But since then, most of the time they're treated very well. So to see them like tout this, like, yes, we love our veterans, and then hear the other side where it's like, do we really?
Yeah. I mean, fucking Biden, you lost a son to the Afghanistan war. Because he was a Marine.
Too bad he wasn't a black lesbian.
And I did have this discussion with somebody today. We were talking about it, and he said, there's only one reason, and I hate to say this, there's only one reason why she's the one that was released. And Basement said it earlier, she's black. She's a lesbian. She's a celebrity.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which unfortunately is worth more than a Marine or
who literally fights for the company.
Which I just like.
Isn't that tragic? Isn't that fucking tragic?
But you know what I fucking hate as well? Over, like, if you can look at it like through an actual human lens, you could see why it's the wrong choice. But we are also assuming that there was a deal on the table to bring him back instead of her. And if there wasn't, would you still make that trade just to get her back?
No. She could rot over there for all I
Or would you hold off in hopes that they would eventually be like, yes, give us the arms dealer and we'll give you the Marine? Like, I don't know. Like, the thing is, it's hard to say, like, that kind of stuff. We don't know if that was on the table. Then, but again, what's worse for Biden? The bad press for the celebrity culture of America and the media being like, bring her home, bring her home, bring her home. We want her home. Like, you want her home, so what? You're not gonna watch the games she plays? Fucking dumb shit. Like, support at least. Like, all these fucking basketball players, these NBA players are saying it because it's easy, good press for them.
Exactly.
Right? There's like, but like, the thing is, basketball's watched all over the fucking world. So half these people, they see, like, they're raising the stakes. Anytime you trade a player, okay, in basketball, it's like, hey, I've got this player, he doesn't want to be on the team or whatever. I'm going to play him, give him exposure, raise his stakes, and then maybe I can get something for him. This, like, they did it. They've basically actively worked against their own fucking country to overpay for Brittney Griner.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
And they did it because they don't know better.
I don't think they care.
No, they don't know. They don't know better because, like, I mean, listen to the stupid shit a lot of these people say. They look at it from, like, they might as well have tubes, like fucking toilet tubes over their eyes, because they don't see the full world. They see, like, a very limited view of the things that they're told should matter to them, and the things that do matter to them. Any of the other people that have been, like, athlete celebrities that, like, expand past that point and say something controversial, it's like, well, I guess you're fucked.
Yeah.
So
it's ridiculous.
Why would you listen? Why, like, so many fucking, like, young kids listen to these guys, and it's like, why would you listen to someone whose speech is so moderated that they can never really say anything of value that hasn't been told for them to say or told for them to not say? It's ridiculous. But this is everywhere, and it's like they're probably gonna fucking erect a statue of this woman somewhere at this point, because it's like, oh, I can't believe she endured those things. I can't believe she did this. It's like,
she endured moldy fucking food.
There seems to be this trend.
It's moldy food every day.
There seems to be this trend of, like, propping up pseudo celebrities that are engaging in bad behavior, but and end up in bad circumstances. It's just like, it's weird. I don't know. She fucked around and found out, and now she's a hero for some reason.
Which sends the wrong fucking message to these celebrities who are probably going to try and do it next.
Well, I mean, anybody that tries to do this is just dumb as shit. Like, I'm the more thing I'm interested in with her is where she'll go from here in terms of how the world will treat it, because everything I see online, you've got a very split. People are, she's my hero, I love her forever for some fucked up reason. Who they probably never even knew she existed a year and a half ago.
Sorry.
And then the other people that are like, we should have left her in Russia.
Honestly, yeah. If we couldn't get the Marine home with her, fuck you, you're staying there.
Well,
I feel like there's
in there. It says you're just gonna have to hold on a little longer. And I'm sorry, but I personally, yeah, I would get backlash, but I wouldn't give a fuck anyway, because I'm not just gonna fucking trade one for one. This guy is.
It's like
This
look at the crimes committed.
They have killed hundreds of thousands of people by selling said arms, and we trade for this. Look at this fucking gift. This sums it up for me. It's just fucking so frustrating.
I know.
I just want to punch her in the fucking face.
It's like I have nothing against her, but I hate the way that the world America and American media has used her to be like some sort of like she's fucking the next smaller version of George Floyd.
Yeah.
Do you know what's going to happen? She's not going to be humbled by any of this. She won't be. She'll just carry on and fucking.
Well, the fact that she
fucking does.
She showed up getting off the plane with a Nike coat and a Nike bag is like, I guess the sponsorship writes itself. And here she's wearing a Nike shirt. It's like I gotta keep my sponsors up. It's fucking disgusting. I don't know. This whole story is like leaves a really bad taste in my mouth.
Person of the fucking year at some point.
This whole story leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and I think anybody that has like any grain of sense in their mind would probably be the same. Because I don't care what color you are, I don't care who you fuck, but there's somebody that goes out there and fights for the country and puts boots on the ground or gets in that fucking shit. You better respect them. Somebody that plays a fucking basketball game professionally versus that, it's like, what world do you live in?
So I don't think people that are happy about this hate their own country. I think the people that are happy about it, I'm talking to you, Alpha. I'm not saying you're wrong, and you're not wrong to voice that. However, I'm not going to agree that people that are happy about her. I'm happy she's home.
Yeah, in the end, she shouldn't be in jail for 9 years.
Of releasing an arms dealer to Russia.
I just don't. You don't. Now, if that the only way that I will be behind this 100% is that arms dealer goes from one prison to another.
Yeah, but I mean, does Russia really?
The only thing but we need to get the people that are being held politically imprisoned for petty fucking crimes. Come on.
Well, I think the major reason this Marine is not he was like was he not like spying or had documentation or something? I don't know. The thing is, I've looked up on it in different ways, and I've seen. The thing is, a lot of people would be out there and be like, well, do your research. I'm like, well, I can research for fucking 48 hours and get the shit wrong because where am I going to get that information? And it seems like every fucking place I went to had different information for how long he was in prison, why they didn't release him. He was a spy. He was a Marine. He had classified documents. He didn't have classified documents. He was documenting some sort of religious gathering or something. Like, fuck, man. In the end, I don't know.
This is the problem with social media and mainstream media combining.
Yeah, in the end, I don't know. The bottom line is, if there was an option to get him, that should have been the option chosen. If the trade involves him, like the Merchant of Death, spending his remaining sentence in a Russian prison, then fine. However, I highly doubt they would make this move without getting something out of him. He still has probably multiple contacts. I mean, okay. I hear it on the news every day of Russia trying to like buy military equipment because they're in a war. So trading an arms dealer to a country in a war, you'd like if you add 1 + 1, it's 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's not fucking. I don't know.
It's not.
That's just the way it looks. And like
Ukraine,
they
are starting to lose because their own troops are turning on them.
I just don't understand. To me, it makes no sense for a country to send like $100 billion to Ukraine and then send an arms dealer to Russia, and also say they're against guns, and do those what are you playing every side and at the same time no side? I think the only thing the American government cares about is how they look in the media. That's it.
That is exactly what it is, because they realize that here in America and all the fucking liberals and snowflakes that are fucking out there, if it's not on social media, it doesn't count.
I don't know. This is just a weird one. But other than what I said, I don't really have anything else to add. I know it's going to be talked about for the next fucking 17 years somewhere.
More or less, I'm sure I'll bring it up. I'm just frustrated that people are bitching about the gun issue, and then we trade for an arms dealer.
Yeah, it's the cake and eat it too mentality that
and honestly, for a basketball player that the WNBA can live without.
I mean, I think the whole world can live without the WNBA.
I think the whole world could live without the WNBA. And the NBA for that. I
mean, in terms of they don't generate enough money to exist. And what happens to any business that doesn't generate enough money to exist in a capitalist society? It dies. But this ain't really a capitalist society anymore.
Not anymore.
It's not. They say it is, but it's not. But fuck this shit.
Yeah, they're trying to lean more and more towards socialism, and that fucking scares the shit out of me.
Socialism is what Russia used to be. You want to be that? Go to Venezuela if you want to live like that. Okay?
Yeah. Don't worry, you're pretty much there. The other thing was a funny. This is another. All these topics are so fucking stupid. That one is Clown World, and the next one is equally Clown World, where Shark Week is.
Oh yeah,
Heather, you brought this to attention, so you go ahead.
Apparently, this one feminazi believes that Shark Week is ruled by a world of men named Mike.
What?
Yep.
She did a study and went to school.
Thousands of hours. She went to school to become a scientist and spent thousands of hours watching fucking Shark Week to make the determination that, oh, right, America's most popular male name happens to be Michael.
What?
So there's an abundance of white men and white men named Michael that are featured on Shark Week. It's well, first of all, fucking shut up. It's so unbelievably dumb.
The scientist names
are.
Yes. Who cares what the scientist names are? Focus on the information they're trying to put out there to try and not only save the ocean, but save species of sharks that are very, very important to the ecosystem of that ocean.
So I understand.
I don't get it either.
Now a show about sharks
is
misogynistic.
Well, it's misogynistic, and it's dominated by it's white males named Mike, which is okay. You want to do instead of that stupid fucking watching Shark Week? Look at all marine biologists. I think most marine biologists are white.
Yeah,
most likely, especially if you're doing the study in America.
Yeah.
But other than that, the mic thing is inconsequential. That's just stupid shit. That's just really stupid. That makes the article sound the dumbest I could imagine.
So I don't, and I'm going to say this because I am at a loss for words at this world right now. I am just, I don't think any marine biologist named Michaela, or however you would say the female version of her name, of Mike. Michelle, whatever. Any marine biologist, male, female, non-binary, furry, fucking LGBTQ plus 33. I don't think any of them care as long as the information's being put out about what sharks can provide and what they do.
This is the thing that kills me. You watch Shark Week, you're listening to the information and more interested in seeing the shark than whoever the fucking person is telling you it. Like,
I don't care about the fucking person giving the information. I'm more worried. I enjoy I'm so fascinated by sharks when I was a kid. And those shark shows that I used to watch as a kid, I would have loved to have had Shark Week when I was a little kid. I didn't get that. I had Jaws. That's it. So I would have loved shows like that. I had Nova, you know, the public television. They do those nature shows, and sometimes sharks would be on there, and that was a treat to see. But it's like, why are we making this a thing? Why is this a thing? It's science.
That's the question isn't, oh, I came up with these readings. It's you. Why did this study? First of all, why is this a study? Why did it get greenlit? Who is paying for this study? Because you ain't working for free, going to university for 8 years or whatever to get this 18,000 degrees to watch Shark Week. Why is this a thing? And then it's pinpointed and it's put out there. And this is not like the only case of this. Maybe the only case of this specific instance, but like people like looking at society through like a microscope, and man, you look at anything through a microscope and you'll be able to find inequality, your perceived inequalities everywhere.
Well, it's as the saying goes, you go out looking for negative things, you're going to find negative things.
Yeah, if you keep looking for something, you'll find it. Hell, I could look. The opposite exists, just no one talks about it. It's like, oh my god, there's so many white men named Mike. I'm like, yeah, well, there's probably so many fucking white women named Jennifer that write romance novels.
Right?
I mean, you might, and the vice versa, you might look at something positive and find something negative. Yeah, everybody thinks negatively anymore, and I don't know why.
It's all like I need to find the holes in things. I'm like, you'll never plug the holes you think you're seeing, because in doing so, you try to like, in order to like make the scales equal. It basically tips the scales the other way, and like I'm gonna pinpoint because I don't know if he's watching the show now or watching it at a later time, but Heistman put out on Twitter that he's like, every commercial I see, every couple is mixed race.
Yeah,
which is not really. It's like we want the world to be seen for how the world. That's not how the world is.
No.
Not every couple needs to be mixed race, and you can have so many couples that are mixed race, so many couples that are same sex, so many couples that are same race and different sexes. Everything needs to be like equal, but I like anytime you watch a new show or a new commercial comes up, see how much they shoehorn in an overabundance of overrepresentation. Instead of equal representation, and then you'll see it everywhere where you don't yeah, but you don't basically fix having not enough representation with overrepresentation.
No, it just makes the whole situation worse, really.
You just need to equal
everybody else, not part of that representation.
So sitcoms, whether it be the Cosby Show or whether it be Family Guys, they used to hit on these subjects, and they'd have a show about the subject, and they would talk about it. But now it's just thrown in your face. It's like
the thing
and
is,
they don't even. It's become the norm to have. Which is fine. I don't.
And I think people get confused because it's like, I like food, but I don't like to be force fed.
Right.
And that's the difference. It's not that I'm a hater of any of these things. It's just when I am literally beaten in the corner over it, it's like, well, why it doesn't matter to you so much? It's like, well, you fight for equal representation. But if you fight for equal representation, you don't get equal representation with overrepresentation. It's just like you fight for equality, not inequality, in the name of equality.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, if the commercials were balanced to the point that one commercial you saw, the traditional man-woman relationship. And then the next one was interracial, or the next one was same sex. It make it better.
What I find funny is the commercial with quality. What I find funny is there's the commercials with the drugs that it doesn't prevent HIV. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh God,
and
yeah.
The very first one is the gay guy. You know he's gay because he's holding hands with his partner, and it's like
they still prey on like the idea of like gay people being more
susceptible to HIV. Yeah.
Yeah, while being people, like, no, it's representation.
People can do whatever the hell they want, but I don't need it thrown in my face every 5 fucking minutes.
I mean, it's the same as.
I'm gonna explain to everybody. I have a cousin who is gay. He's transgender. He dresses as a woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love him with all my heart. He's a really great guy. But he does this to me. He throws this shit in my face, and I'm like, dude, look, I love you. You're my cousin, but you don't have to justify anything to me.
But that's the thing. The need is always there to like. I
appreciate people for being people. I don't appreciate people because of what they are and who they are.
Honestly, like you can go back in high school and look at like the different the cliques that would exist in high school, right? The different groups, and a lot of the people that really bought into those groups were more about representing what the group was versus representing what they were, because they didn't know what they were. So like, I'm not saying that like gay, transgender, whatever, don't know what they are. It's just you don't need to wear like a suit of armor constantly throwing it at people and being like, this is what I am, accept it. It's like, I'm fine, I accept it. But now you're trying to push me into a realm of I don't want to hear about it anymore.
And DJ just put in the chat. I mean, I'm part of the LGBT community, and I don't throw in. You're one of those that there are people out there that do it though, and I tell my cousin all the time.
It's the loud few.
Shit, it's gonna be okay. I'm going to support you no matter what. I'll give you an example. We were talking one time, and he goes, "You don't know what it's like." You know what, Josh? I don't, because I'm not that. But you know what?
You're wrong.
Say that to. He explained to me. He goes, "You don't know what it's like to be a gay man in America." No, I don't, because I'm not gay. So don't say that to me, because
there's no opportunity. There's no opportunity for you to.
Here's the thing. I told him. I said, "Do you walk?" And I explained. Do you walk into a fucking restaurant and say, "I'm gay"? Why would you do that? Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you do or how you do or whatever.
The thing is,
people need to stop with the bullshit.
I think there's like okay, and this goes for like, forget about the gay and everything like that. People that have like any realm of like the very loud minorities out there of whatever it is, they have such a high level of self-importance that they want everyone to be like, I need to recognize you for what you are. But the truth of the matter is, like JP said, no one gives a fuck. I don't care if you have sex with someone that's I don't care if you put fucking dicks in ass, vagina, mouth, ears. I don't care about your sexuality at all. I'm not okay,
let me put it to you like this. How would you like it if I walked into a bar, in a gay bar, and said, I just threw my dick in my fucking wife? You wouldn't like it, would you? Well, why in the fuck did you come in? I'm gay. I'm not saying my cousin did that, but I'm just saying, why do you need to make it known that you are?
It's weird. It's weird too, because like I've met a couple people that are in the gay community. I used to work with a couple of them, and for the most part, like some of them you could tell they were gay just with like gestures and the way they handled themselves, but other people like I didn't even have an idea that they were. I've never been in a situation with someone that was like overtly flamboyant to the point where it's like annoying. But I would treat the same thing if it was like one of those people that want to be the next Cardi B or whatever with the long fucking nails coming up and being just like ignorant and just shitty people. It's like, man, the more like over the top you are, the less people will be able to handle you that exist in reality.
Right. So the conversation, like if I have a friend and he, usually, like this is how I was introduced to somebody being gay. There's a literal conversation. We were sitting there, and this is before, I got married and all this stuff. And this is before Heather. But we said, let's go to the bar and let's go hit on some women, whatever, 21-year-old fucking dumb shit that I was. And he's like, well, I'm gay. I don't hit on women. Okay, do you still want to go to the fucking bar?
Yeah, man. That's just, honestly the same thing. Like I invited a bunch of my friends from work were going out to a bar, and I invited one of the other guys because they were just cool person, right? And it's like, okay, we're all going out, and he came out too. And then like halfway through, I didn't know he was gay because he didn't really. There was no real indication of it. But then he's like, it started to come to light, and it's like, okay, I don't really care. We're here to have fun. We're not here to fuck. I'm at a bar, not your bedroom.
It's not. But what I do appreciate is he did say that, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
that's fine. And he's like, do you hate me? I'm like, why would I hate you?
I know that's like that is to me is.
I think no less of you. You're my friend, man. Why would I care what you do? Just don't hit on me. I mean, I'm not gonna turn you away as a friend. I appreciate that you think I'm good looking, but I'm not, I'm not that kind of person. So, I mean, so if somebody approached me, that's how I'm like, okay, good for you. I'm not.
But the thing is, like, too, when I've made friends with people and like throughout my whole life, whether it's like school, work, or just like casually meeting people and you meet friends through friends, when has it ever really gone through your fucking head? It never goes through my head to be like, oh, I'm not going to be friends with this person because they don't meet X, Y, Z criteria. Because you don't give a fuck. If I can talk to you and we can laugh or we can do something that's fun, why would I be like, well, I can't, you know what? I'm going to deprive myself of joys because you fit you're a Chinese man or a black man or whatever. Who cares? Like, and nobody actually cares. And it's blown way out of proportion in today's world. This is why fucking Shark Week, White Man Mike Shark Week is just. Why are you pinpointing these things? Nobody cares.
She has nothing better to do with her time, and she probably has not gotten laid in a very long time.
It's probably not even that. She just wants to be a part of the fucking solution.
Well, I mean, it could also be like a
be part of the solution, because apparently there's a problem. If you don't support these things openly, you're part of the problem, not the solution. Like, I fucking hate that shit. I so hate that shit. Well, if you don't support,
that's like, that's a dangerous mentality.
Openly, you're part of the problem.
That's a very dangerous mentality.
I have to fucking support it openly.
That's a very dangerous mentality, man. That's fucking Nazi Germany.
Yeah, it is.
When you don't question things and people don't respect you having a mind of your own without just following the sheep. That's a dangerous thing. And no matter what the topic is, I'm not saying like, oh, just because you don't openly support something very obvious. There's certain things. It depends on what it is. It's like, well, maybe we should think about everything and come to a conclusion. But whatever. I don't know. But fuck Shark Week. I love Shark Week.
It's awesome.
I think
Shark Week is fucking evil.
I think she might have been like half clickbaiting the title to get, because it's very like on the nose. Some people are going to be like, well, fuck, gotta look at this.
Yeah.
Yep. And I agree with you 100%, DJ. Once telling somebody that they're gay once is good enough. I don't need to hear it 35 fucking times.
But I also don't want to hear. The thing is, I don't.
So if I happen to know that somebody is gay and I have done this, we sit there and I'll joke about it because I'm comfortable with it. I don't care. And then we'll sit around and it's like, I'll sit there and point out, would you fuck that guy? Would you fuck that guy? Shit like that. And it actually, to be honest with you,
I give some perspective
and being able to joke about it, and you know what I mean, is it kind of makes you and that other person feel comfortable. Hey, I think this guy's okay with me being gay.
It's handling like something that people would be like, it's taboo or whatever, but it's handling it in like a way that men usually handle things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is, you fucking talk about it and then you joke about it.
We had a transgender customer that started coming into Harley just before I left, and we joked around with our eBay guy. And he was like, hey, Kurt, here's your next girlfriend. Meanwhile, this bitch was like 6'4". He's only 5'9".
That's the thing. I feel like anytime you... Like, the world isn't the way it's portrayed in fucking media. It just isn't.
Oh, yeah.
And they try to, like, get people to think a certain way. And yes, there are people out there that do think that way. But there's so many more that don't.
Yeah, the brainwashed masses will sit there and say, oh my god, they're right. They're right. We need to do something about this.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have too many other topics. I mean, one that I put in there because I found it hilarious was with Jennifer Lawrence thinking she's the first woman to do anything. So she came out and said, like, she basically said that we were taught that women and men can look up to a male lead in an action movie, but only women can look up to a female lead in action movies or anything like that. She basically alluded to herself being the only female lead that could attract both men and women because she was when she was in the Hunger Games.
Has this bitch never heard of Sigourney Weaver?
I just don't understand. Like this is again in the same realm of what we were talking about. It's like, come on, you make a badass character, they're a badass character.
Yeah.
I've seen several badass women, badass men, badass fucking whatevers.
And again, I go back to Sigourney Weaver with Alien.
Well, she's basically saying like she was the original fucking badass woman in Hunger Games. I'm like, have you never seen a movie in your life? Because there's Sigourney Weaver, there's fucking Sarah Connor, there's fucking The Bride and Kill Bill. There's 50 women that have done it better than she did it in Hunger Games.
They were older than she was when she did fucking Hunger Games.
Hunger Games is a fucking shitty ass YA novel. It's like, I mean, it's nowhere near as iconic as the three I just mentioned.
It's
the first movie was pretty good. The second movie was alright, and the third movie I don't know what the fuck it was.
It seems like they got rid of the actual Hunger Games in the movies, and it just became, oh, we gotta dress you up, and it's all politics. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm out. I saw the first movie. I think I saw what was the one where fucking the guy turned into a piece of wood?
That was the first one.
Okay, so I guess I saw the first movie. I don't know if I saw... I definitely did try to watch the second one, because they weren't terrible or anything, but it was like, man...
It turned into a forced romance movie because her and PETA had to be seen as a couple because of the ratings that they got during the Hunger Games.
Yeah, it was... It's definitely not... She's nowhere close. I wouldn't even put her in the conversation of the other women I mentioned.
No, of course not. And then, of course, if you can go back even further and say the original fucking Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Linda Carter. That's what I don't get. It's like, for some reason, there's a lot of people that, like, they don't think history fucking exists or something. It's like, we never had strong female leads. We've never had The same thing with black superheroes until Black Panther. I'm like, well, I guess Wesley Snipes is not a human being.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right. I
Dennis Rodman at that point.
I know, shit. Demolition Man.
Exactly.
was he in Demolition Man?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Was he in Demolition? He
Dennis Rodman wasn't.
Dennis Rodman was
no,
also
that was Wesley Snipes. Dennis Rodman was in Double
Double Trouble.
Double Dragons. No, he was in something with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, Double Trouble.
I don't know. That sounds stupid.
Or something to that.
Something of that, yeah, but
It was something with double in the title.
yeah, and then you also have Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Who started doing action movies in his 50s.
He's like Liam Neeson. He's just like the black Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
But it's
Right.
like it's these fucking people that have like this huge platform that are
Well, her whole
dumb as
thing is
bricks.
she feels so entitled to these opinions because she was one of the first people on a TV interview to sit there and say, "I said fuck you to Trump."
Well,
it
it was an interview with her and what's the woman's name that plays the lead in The Woman King? What's her name?
So he was in Double Team with Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's Wendy. Oh my God.
I don't need it. It's glue.
Sniff it. I'm kidding. No. But Jennifer Lawrence, I mean, she made a couple of good movies. Like
she wasn't.
The Snow Phoenix Playbook was actually a pretty good movie.
She was not a very good Mystique.
No.
I mean, the problem with that is they cast her as Mystique, and then her like off.
Yep.
Tried to make the fucking.
So you're breaking up.
Fuck you. This fucking headset, man. They tried to make X-Men all about her because she was the big name at the time, and it kind of killed the whole brand. And like superhero movies are just not about the actors; it's about the characters more than anything else.
Yeah.
We did not talk about Tekken 8 trailer. I'm not a big Tekken fan. I'm not a big fighting game fan.
Tekken 8.
Yeah,
I mean, I will say this. I did play Tekken when I was younger.
I played Tekken.
That game was actually pretty good. I enjoyed them.
It was pretty ridiculous. Like everyone was like a demon or angel or some shit fighting against each other. The whole family was wanting to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
If I recall correctly. I mean, it looks good.
Tekken was a lot similar to Street Fighter.
The one thing I would say from the
Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
The one thing I'd say from the trailer, and this is the worry I have with well, I don't really care because I don't really play fighting games, but the worry I would have if I was invested in fighting games, it does look like they've kind of gone the way of having like a bit more cinematic approach. So sometimes like you'll do a kick and it'll like zoom in or do something where it takes the control away from the player.
Yeah,
and
then
though it
that animation until it comes back.
yeah, it looks better visually. It might hurt it because a lot of these games really take off on like the actual like legitimate. I'm a professional gamer. We're gonna have a game tournament, right? And with the more you introduce that kind of stuff, the muddier the waters get in terms of like, how do you. It's not the skill starts to leave it because people will
it really does
learn to expose that.
I mean, Game Awards were just, and we did see a really cool game that I think I would actually even want to play, and the actors that are going to be in it.
This one game, oh my god, they went not. No, it wasn't Grand Theft Auto.
No, it's like Grand Theft.
It's like Grand Theft Auto. It's Big City Cop, I think it's called, or something like that. And they got Chuck Norris, they went out and got fucking everybody.
They got Michael Madsen.
Oh, I didn't see anything about this. But what kind of game is it?
It's kind of like
it's a crime-solving story game, essentially, where goddamn. drug boss or something like that.
Big boss. Yeah, it's like evil.
Well, depending on the game type, that'd be a lot of fun to play. Just for the nostalgia fact of having like those old school.
Oh,
fuckers.
yeah. And the fact that they got some huge names to be part of this game.
Crime Boss Rocky City.
That's it.
Oh,
And it's got Michael Madsen. Let's see.
They showed
It's
fucking
got
like 15 people that are huge.
It's got Michael Madsen, Michael Rooker, Chuck Norris, Danny Trejo, Danny Glover, Kim Basinger, Damian Poirier, and Vanilla Ice are all in the game.
I'll have to look at it to see what the like gameplay might be like or what the game genre is.
It's gonna be I bet it's gonna be like Grand Theft Auto, but it's not gonna.
It's gonna have more of a story behind it than Grand Theft Auto.
Well, Grand Theft Auto has a story behind it, but
it's so convoluted.
Grand Theft Auto is for me, unfortunately, it's too much of like a sandbox game because I get lost in like, oh, I could do this mission, and then you failed the mission. I guess I'm gonna fucking kill every fucking person I see and get lost in running away from the cops.
People have more fun with Grand Theft Auto doing the mods and just running around doing some of the craziest shit rather than actually doing the story.
I'm telling you, Grand Theft Auto.
That's what it devolved into. He started doing the story, but he's like, you know what? Fuck it, let's cheat.
Yeah, because like the story isn't gripping enough. I would say that like if the next Grand Theft Auto comes out, they'd fuck themselves in the ass if they didn't make it 4-player co-op the entire story. It was almost that for the last Grand Theft Auto. You play as like 3 different people and you can switch between them. So why not like, enable everybody to play? But I mean, since we're on the topic of games, there's a couple things with gaming that has come up. And some weird shit. We touched on it another day when we were streaming, but it's the one big thing too was Xbox with a 10-year plan, making a 10-year plan with Nintendo to share Call of Duty, and to me, it's like, you want to play Call of Duty on Nintendo?
Especially since the only system available for right now is the Switch or a Switch Lite.
Well, regardless if there's a new system available for Nintendo, it's not going to be... They'll never make a system that runs at same or better specs than PlayStation or Xbox. So you're going to be playing on a downgraded version of it. And I think that the thing they're hoping is like, well, you'll be able to play mobile, so drop in and drop out. It's like, man, you know how... you might not know the Call of Duty fan base. That it's like... I need to get the best frame rate or else I'm going to complain.
Look how many people bitched and moaned about fucking Warzone and trying to play it on their fucking cell phone. You're going to be doing the same fucking thing with the full edition of Call of Duty on the Switch.
Now, will it sell? Yes, it'll sell. Will it like prosper massively? Maybe with the first release, but the only reason I say that is because when you look at the Nintendo Switch, I have to look at like its major audience, which is China, Japan, that kind of area. So they might really buy into it because if they're all mostly playing Nintendo, they haven't played a Call of Duty game in forever.
Yeah.
But then you also have to look at Call of Duty is like not necessarily a rising stock. So this is a hand in hand with the merger of Xbox, Activision, and Blizzard potentially basically being sued to stop that from happening.
Because it's creating a monopoly.
Yeah, well, the worst thing you can have in gaming is a monopoly. You want the players want to. Not every player is going to go out and buy fucking 6 systems to play everything because it's just too much money.
I am perfectly happy with just our PlayStation 5. We do not need an Xbox.
Yeah, the thing is, and I would say vice versa. If I had an Xbox, I'd be happy with that. What they should be focusing on more is, like, I don't know, like rising tide raises all ships. Work together, you fuckers. Everybody makes money.
Exactly. I mean, especially if they sit there and get away from couch fucking co-op and give us more multiplayer co-op that's not first-person shooter. Do you know how much their stocks would fucking rise?
I hate the fact that for the last like 20 years of gaming, the only fucking games you could play online is PvP, like fighting against each other, and first-person shooters. It's like that. Like, if you're a fan of those two things, your life has been beautiful for the last 20 years of gaming. If you're not, you gotta fucking pick a title every couple of years something comes out.
Yeah, and it's the trouble we're having with the channel here. We're trying to find multiplayer games that are different from what we've already done.
I'm just tired of first-person shooters. I'm so tired of them, to be honest. I've played them for the last 20 years.
I found Unity for free, just to find out we have to play to a certain level in order to unlock it, and even then, it's not guaranteed that we're going to be able to be multiplayer.
Yeah, they really don't. The thing is, when it comes to like co-op multiplayer, most of the things they're looking at is like, oh, it's a co-op storyline, which has a beginning and an ending, and then the game, the player base falls off. They want infinite player base because they want infinite revenue, and those games only exist in what you've seen come out that's really popular, the Call of Duty type shit, or the like arena type games.
The Smash Brothers, yeah.
Smash Brothers or Fortnite, games like that. In the last like 10 years, the Fortnite, PUBG, those type of games blew up, but it's so boring after a while.
It is. I mean, they were nominated at the Game of the Year awards, but Fortnite, but they did not get enough votes.
Well, Fortnite is basically Fall Guys, but first person. It's all based on I want to make my character look different, and I'll pay to do that. What the fuck is wrong with people?
What's up, DJ? Because he said hi.
You've been talking to
Jurgen. I'm so sorry.
Let's get 18 days.
I just drove 4 hours today, so.
Yeah, I mean, this was just like a side topic because we've talked about it on other things, and it's a developing story, but we'll see where it goes. I mean, I don't know. Gaming to me is like, I used to get a lot of games that's gone down massively.
Yeah. I mean, I will say at least Call of Duty is trying, and they're bringing back the raid maps where you can actually do a raid. But at the same time, that novelty is going to wear off really fucking quick because of the bots and the 360 no-scopes.
Yeah, they can't keep the cheating under control. And a lot of their player base is PC. And with them forming with Microsoft, they're going to always be available on Xbox and PC. You're never going to get rid of that problem.
Well, Xbox was always made by Microsoft, so that's the
thing. If they went to like any Nintendo or PlayStation, they wouldn't have the crossplay with PC. But that's the way that game is. I don't really care because I'll never play it again. Probably. I don't give a fucking flying shit.
I had enough with Cold War.
Yeah. That's enough about gaming.
The only way they would draw me back in is if they added in a story mode that was longer than 4 to 6 hours and made it co-op.
See, they don't care about that because
it's stupid on their part.
It's really not where the money is for them. It's the problem really comes down to like the fan base and the fact that gaming is turned almost into like going to the casino.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where it has like it's created addictive personalities in a lot of kids. Okay, so that's enough for gaming. We could talk about fucking Nick Carter raping somebody.
Don't care.
Don't care. Unless they basically
in court, I don't care.
Unless we find out whether he did or did not. I mean, here's the thing. He's a Backstreet Boy, and this is back in the past. They were having sex with everything. You think they weren't? Come on. Like, as popular as they are, they're having sex with everything. And then you look at Cosby having sex with everybody. Cosby was having sex with everybody, whether they knew it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, fuck it. He's going to bang the world. And then the only other thing that I found kind of funny was with AOC getting into like problems I don't really know what it was. Something
Yes.
ethics.
Yes, because apparently she was gifted her invitation to the Met Gala, which is against ethics for Congress and senators alike to
Listen.
receive such gifts.
She has $25,000 debt from student loans. Okay, how else is she gonna get in there? I fucking hate this woman. Honestly, she's she comes off as the worst.
The beautiful irony of this whole fucking thing is she wore a dress that said "Tax the Rich" on the back of it to the Met Gala. It's like, honey, you realize you're talking about yourself too, right?
It's like, I just go up. Someone go up to her and be like, "Are you making money doing what you're doing?" Yes. How much money are you making? So why haven't you paid off your student loans in the last fucking 7 years? Oh, because I have two. Shut the fuck up. Because I have two properties. You don't need. First of all, you don't need two properties. If you had a brains, if you want people to follow you and listen to you, and you have any fucking brain in your head, the logical thing is to pay off your student loans. Because if I'm following you and you're still paying debt on loans while making enough money to pay it off, you might be fucking retarded.
Well, actually, that is correct. Most senators and representatives make an annual salary of $174,000 a year.
I fucking hate this woman. She's like,
Those
she needs to be called out.
Positions, the whole thing. Those in leadership positions make a bit more. For example, the Speaker of the House makes $250,000, so $250,000, and the majority and minority leaders in the House and Senate make about almost $200,000, so $193,400.
So why does she have $25,000 in student loans?
Well, she's fucking stupid.
Because that's the fucking platform that she stands on.
Yeah, but like, I mean, how dumb of a person do you have to be to follow this woman?
So the way that they get the votes is I'm just like you.
Well, I mean, this
is basement. What I'm telling you exactly.
I know, and this is why I'm saying, what kind of person do you have to be to follow that?
A dumb fucker.
Yeah. So
I fucking that it only missing. Only hearing the part of I have rent to pay just like you do. I have student debt to pay just like you do. That's all you need to hear.
Any politician that tries to be like, I'm the same as you, first I want to punch them square in the face. And I'd be like, well, now you're the same as me. Get on the floor and taste blood, you fuck.
Yeah.
I just can't stand them. I can't stand them.
When they are campaigning, they literally say that shit.
I know, because it's like they want to be. You can't rule the everyman if you can't be like, I am you. I'm in your shoes. And just like you, I go home. And just like you, I see these things on the news. And just like you, I take my jet to go back and forth 17 times in 3 weeks. Yeah, just like you. Fucking cunt.
She's an idiot. She is literally an idiot. She is running a district. She
always looks like she's talking. Like, I mean, this is obviously a gift where she is, but every time I've seen her discuss things, she has this like, I'm talking semi down to somebody. I'm trying to like undress you with my words, and her words are dumb as shit.
She tries, but then people just sit there and remind her you were a bartender before you came here.
If I was literally interviewing her, because I did want to be a journalist at one point. That's what I wanted to do when I grew up, is become a journalist. An actual journalist, not this fucking CNN bullshit. And if I was interviewing her, and I would probably get fired because I would look at her and like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, she makes no sense. She stands on this greenhouse deal that she wants cows to go to the fucking moon. This woman, this is our country in a nutshell. Is this fucking woman? This is the future. This is the future, people.
And she heavily believes in socialism.
This is the one thing I heard today, which I found like it's perfectly encapsulates where we are. It's they were talking about like a mission that went around the moon, right? And they're like, well, this mission is going around the moon. The next mission will take like samples, and the next mission after that, we're gonna put somebody on the moon. And then it cuts to we're gonna have the first black woman, and the first this. I'm like, when did it really become? When did it become? When did it become what race and gender and that like when did it become that? Like I'm like, what is this world? It's like, can't we just celebrate like man-made achievements? Fuck, if the first man on the moon was a black man, I wouldn't give a flying shit because man made it to the moon.
I would celebrate it. I would celebrate it the same.
Yeah, exactly. Like because man made it to the moon. If it was a woman, man made it to the moon. I like it's fucking it's as a species of mankind, I would be celebratory. The idea that it gets that like in depth and that petty to be like, oh man, well now we have to get somebody with one nipple to land on the moon. Fucking eat my ass.
I mean, that's next. But yeah, I these people. This is our future. This is
the future looks terrible. I'm not fucking kidding you. Like back in the fucking 90s, early 2000s, at least there was hope. Now I like look at the future and I'm like, good fucking lord.
Yep.
It's as the meme goes. We all thought it was because of the lack of access to information that was the reason for people's stupidity.
No,
now with the advent of the internet, we have found out that was not the case.
No, some people are just dumb as shit, and they don't care to like actually look into anything. There's certain things. There's certain things I am fucking dumb as shit about, but I try not to be dumb as shit about the entirety of like what I experience in life. At least try instead of being like, I feel good about being force-fed information. Yes, I am pro that. What is that? The thing I am pro for. Like, come on, man. At least have a fucking any sense in your mind
behind it before you speak on it.
It is sad and dreary and depressing that we have to sit here and talk about celebrating something, but then we get called out for celebrating the same thing because like I can't count on my fingers. I don't have enough fingers to count how many times in the last 2 years that I have heard, well, it's not fair that a woman didn't get to do this or that.
Was a woman qualified in the vicinity for such things?
Just fucking do it. Why? I mean, the limitations on women. That's only a limitation that you think is out there because that's what you are being fed.
Man, we should fucking. That's Bill Burr said it the best with women, and it's like, are women funny? Yeah, you're funny. Just stop whining about it. Go there and fucking do it. Nobody cares. If you're good, nobody cares. It's just so unbelievably true. And the fact that people would rather whine and bitch about what they didn't get or what they couldn't get or what they were deprived of just tells me that they didn't fucking actually try. They just bitched.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, the women that are sitting there going, well, he makes more money than I do.
Oh, my God.
He's fucking higher up in the positions than you are because he knows what the fuck he's doing.
That's not just... So I had this...
The wage gap between men and women...
Doesn't exist.
If you're saying men earn more versus women, that's fine. I would say that exists, but not in individual circumstance.
Say it again, Basement?
So I think men overall, if you looked at the overall salaries of men versus women, just with those two generic stats, men make more than women. But
let him finish.
But if you look at man versus woman in the same position, bullshit.
So here's the thing. I had this discussion last week in Minneapolis with a female coworker of mine. Her name is Laura. That's all I'll say. And we were talking about this, and she goes, the wage gap doesn't exist. Period.
It doesn't.
And she explained to me why, and I'm like, okay. They take the averages of every salary.
That was my first point.
And it's like I can see that. But if you look, if a doctor is, so her mother had applied for a job and she got it or whatever, but she was making less than Bob and Tom, who were making 5 times as, but some more than her. Like I'll say $10,000 a year more than her, right? And she's bitching about it. Well, they're in the same position, but they're making more than me. She looked at her mother and said, how long have they been there?
Well, and the bet she said 40 years.
Well, they've been there 15 years. That $10,000 is an exaggeration.
This is, I think you're making the exact same.
Like, that's exactly my point. You haven't been there as long as they have.
They've had an increase
to have an increase over time.
But it's. I think you're making the exact same point. This is where I say, like, when I said men make more than women, it's just because if you look right now at the positions of higher power, men hold more of them. And there's various reasons for it in the past. I mean, we're also like the equality that we're looking at today or 20 or 10, 15 years ago isn't the equality of 40 years ago. And some of those people are still working, right? So men and women make the same. The only time it's different is when there is how long have you been working? Once you get away from like a generic job, for instance, like a McDonald's or whatever, and you get into like, or whatever job is above that, when you get into like, I can negotiate for my contract, then men and women will make different wages. But that doesn't mean men make more. That just means the negotiation is different. Then you have the people that have worked there longer. When you look at something through black and white that is actually a full spectrum of colors, it's fucking bullshit, because you can't blame it being men and women, because there's 500 different factors that make up that decision. And it's not just like, well, I work the same job as him. However, I've called in more sick days, or, you know, I haven't really like put in the work or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many variables.
It's a known fact. Women take more time off because of children,
which makes sense. Like, I mean, the thing is,
I'm the exception to the rule because I'm the only one that knows how to drive in this house. So
for me, like,
and I mean that if we have to go to the doctor, I have to take off from work because she can't drive.
The people that would be able to complain about like men versus women's salaries are the people that have no right complaining about salary at all, because they make way too much money already. So like, and this comes with the celebrity culture where it's like, why aren't women paid as much as men? Well, I'd rather have Tom Cruise in my movie than Jennifer Lawrence.
So
box office results will prove me right in taking Tom Cruise over Jennifer Lawrence.
So during this conversation, I'm sitting there and we're talking, and we were talking about, I mean, she's a step below me in wage grade, because in our pay grades, there's steps. So I think she's one step below me, but the only reason I'm one step higher is I have been working for the federal government longer than she has.
Just in different positions.
And I got an increase, because if I didn't get that increase, I would have been making less than I was. It's hard to explain. So they put me in one step higher than what I was before to give me that increase in pay. If that makes sense. I don't know if I just confused the fuck out of basement.
Or his fucking headphones disconnected again.
Or he just said, fuck it, I'm done with the show.
Oh my god, my fucking headset turned off randomly. I gotta get a new headset. This fucking shit.
Yeah, it's a new one.
So, I don't know if you heard what I said.
I heard part of it.
So essentially, I'm one step higher than she is. The only reason I'm that one step higher, she's been in the position that I'm in. There's like 10 or 11 of us in that position. The only reason that I'm higher is because I started way earlier than she did, and they had to give me an increase. Otherwise, I would have been making
It's
less.
just the thing that, like, I mean, and working, everybody fucking every job I've ever worked, you get a year end or semi, like halfway through, you get a wage increase, and it's based upon performance. Every single time, it's been based upon performance. I see people that I'm like, okay, well, I don't think they're as good at the job as others. Yet, if you're just looking at their numbers in terms of performance, they are doing better. They are. If I had to choose which one I would hire, I would take a slight dip on the numbers and go with somebody that is better at the actual job. Because the numbers and the job in my line of work don't line up. You can fudge the numbers all you want and be terrible at your job.
If I can tell you right now, if you were hiring either me or this girl, you would probably hire her before me. I'm not bad at my job, but she's better at the job that we do.
And she also might be I mean, I don't know. She was hired more recent, right? She might be. Does she have like?
She's been there for. See, I've been with the federal government for 15 years. I've been working as a federal employee for 15 years. I think she's been there for 10, maybe. I guess. Something like that.
He's been different positions. In this position, she's been there longer than him.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like in workplaces, it's like it kind of sucks because I've been in a position where somebody's been brought in from a different department and gets a leg up.
Worth going for, yeah.
Even though, like I said, they're not as accomplished the job.
Yet the position that I was at before, the position I'm in now is a pay grade lower than the position I'm in now. So I'm GS6. That's the pay grade. I was a GS5. I was GS5 step 5, I think. And if I would have come in as a I was a GS step 5.
In most jobs.
So if they would have started me at a GS step 1, I would have been making $5,000 less than a GS step.
In most jobs, it's like people get confused, and myself for a long time was confused in what like an employer or management looks for.
Yeah.
Because it's not always like most management, especially if it's middle management, aren't looking for the people that do the job the best. It's the people that do the job to make them look the best.
Yep.
Once you go a step way higher and it's like a higher management, they're looking at people that make the department look the best, which they would look at the people that do the job the best and get the numbers. Because if you're only getting the numbers, not doing the job the best, you are eventually going to go the way of the dodo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I was at Harley, there were a couple of guys that were hired on at a higher price, at a higher pay point than what I was at that point, but they were hired for the parts department, which deals with a hell of a lot more than the clothing department deals with, because they have to bring parts down to the service center. They have to get parts for customers. They have to help customers find the right parts for their bikes. They're trading parts with other dealers. So, of course, they deserved the higher pay raise than I did. I was dealing with helmets and leather jackets.
Yeah, it depends. It also depends on your willingness, like people's willingness to learn and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's a multitude of things that go into it, but I do think, like, depending on if you're aiming to move up in a job, look at what the people are, what's best for the people above you, not what's best for you or the company per se. Right. So you kind of have to, like, play towards that. But fuck work. I don't really have much more, but I want to ask you and JP when he gets back. Okay, because it's fucking Christmas time, and anybody in the chat, what's your favorite Christmas like chocolate or
Chocolate?
sweet to get. Because everybody eats fucking chocolates during Christmas. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Best Christmas chocolate. I don't know what he said, but I don't care.
And Wendy spilled water all over the table. I think for me, I would have to go. I mean, I've never gotten one in my entire life, and I want one, and it's the 1 pound Hershey Kiss.
That is a 1 pound Hershey. That's a lot of fucking chocolate, though. Like
It is. But you know what?
You know what?
I would eat at least half of it in one sitting.
You know what fucking pisses me off? And I'm sorry if anybody out there is like this. The people that are like, you know what, chocolate's okay, but I love dark chocolate. Suck my fucking dick. There's nobody out there that likes dark chocolate more than milk chocolate. I am sorry. You might eat dark chocolate because it's said to be better for you than milk chocolate. But I'd be very surprised to see somebody that's like, I would prefer 80% cocoa chocolate than milk chocolate.
Well, that's the fun part with Godiva, because they do have those bars that are the 70, 80, and 90%.
I've had that, and it's fucking too much.
It's nasty, yeah.
It's actually hazelnut.
Well, it's just
hazelnut. Hazelnut is well, I'm not talking about the baby eating Nutella.
What's your favorite chocolate or sweet to get for Christmas?
My favorite. I actually love candy canes.
Oh man, the thing is, candy cane really fits Christmas. It's definitely not my favorite, but would you rather have candy canes than chocolate, or would you have chocolate candy canes? They exist.
Oh, yes, they do, and we have a
Draco, you son of a bitch.
We do. So it's a funny story. Heather and I, we went shopping, and we were looking, and I'm like, I looked, and they were out of the peppermint. I love peppermint candy canes. Just the red and white striped candy canes. I'm a traditionalist. They didn't have any. I lost my shit in a fucking aisle. I'm like, what the fuck?
I sat there and said they're probably up front.
And they were.
No, they're not here. They're supposed to be right here. See, this box right here. This is where they're supposed to be. Why are they not here?
Hey man, people hang them on their Christmas tree, which
That's the meltdown in the fucking Walmart in aisle. I think it's aisle 18. I'm like, what?
But okay, so hold on, JP. Outside of like Christmas, do you have like peppermint? Like we call them peppermint knobs here, but do you have?
Well, yeah.
Do you have like peppermint like suckers?
Yeah. That's what they call them in Canada.
Well, there's peppermint knobs and peppermint lumps.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if anybody wants a peppermint lump. The thing is like a fucking golf ball.
Yeah, we got these. And they come in peppermint, but I got them in wintergreen because they helped me through my pregnancy.
Same idea, yeah, same idea.
Yeah, we got those. We got the candy canes. I love candy canes. It's tradition that we'd hang them up on the
tree, and then you just pick one when you walk
by.
Take
it off, eat it.
Yeah. I mean, fucking. Oh god.
Unfortunate.
IP2, you are an artist, and you are going away forever. Federico loves dark chocolate. I don't hate dark chocolate. I just like I can't believe anybody would rather have dark chocolate over milk chocolate.
There are two things.
It's just there's too much.
Do not like dark chocolate because it tastes like dirt. And brownies, I can't eat them. They taste like dirt. I don't know why.
I can see what you're saying with brownies, because brownies do like it's almost like an. I like brownies, but it's almost like too much, where you get to like this is kind of like the dark chocolate. You get too much chocolate in a brownie.
So the Christmas fudge.
I don't like fudge at all. Fudge is way too sweet for me.
I can eat it, but the fudge brownies, I will eat those, but I can't eat because again they're too rich and too sweet for me. But I will eat those. But like regular brownies, they just dry and taste like dirt.
I guess it depends on it obviously depends on the brownie, right? But like,
I can't. I'm not kidding. I lost my shit in the fucking aisle. I'm like, There's no fucking candy canes.
Thing was like peppermint's okay. I'm not a big mint person. I know Heather, you like mint milkshakes,
And I love
right?
chocolate and I love them together.
I don't.
That's-
I am not like certain things shall not mix, and that's one of them. See, I'll have pineapple on pizza, but I won't have mint chocolate.
Bad boy.
I know. I won't have mint chocolate, but I'll have pineapple on pizza. But like, I guess my favorite of all the like Christmas treats or the things that for like chocolate that are promoted during Christmas is Ferrero Rocher. I just love chocolate and nuts.
Phrasing basement.
I was gonna say nuts and chocolate, which is worse. So,
Which is fucking hilarious because they do around this time of year send anonymous gifts of just a chocolate nutsack.
oh God, perfect. Hershey's nutsack. What's this? Can't. Oh yeah, no. I mean, I don't. I'll have a candy cane. It's just not like it would not be on my like.
And the funny thing is this is the first year that when we've gone to go shopping for the candy canes for the tree that I saw wintergreen mint
I think I got
candy canes. Yes, you did. Which is just like, well, shit. Like, that's my favorite kind of
That's
mint.
what those are. Those mints are.
That's my favorite kind of mint, and it will always be the wintergreen.
But another candy is the.
I gotta have Starburst jelly beans too. At Christmas.
What about you have those Lindor balls?
Yes,
No, those
they're
are
good too.
I'm not so much a big chocolate guy, but I like those Christmas candies. That they're different flavored candies.
It depends.
Oh,
like,
the chocolate fruit
are you
box,
talking
yeah.
about the pot of gold? Because some of those taste like shit.
No, it's the Russell Stover. It's Russell Stover's chocolate assortment.
Not chocolate.
But then I don't know.
Oh,
The Christmas ribbon candy. That's another.
that's what.
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's just
It's literally just candy made into a ribbon style.
and each candy, like an orange one, tastes like oranges.
Oh, I don't like that. That's the worst. Orange and chocolate is disgusting.
Actually,
Remember those like oranges that you could get that were orange chocolate, and you'd
Yeah.
like break them and they'd open up like an orange, and they taste like fucking shit.
yes, I can't eat those, but what I can eat, and probably my favorite chocolate candy, is cherry cordials.
I don't know what that is.
It's chocolate with the cherry in the
With
middle.
the cherry in the middle.
See, like chocolate and like fruit is gross to me.
It's not. It's a maraschino cherry. It's not
I
that.
know.
cherry.
I don't like cherries anyway, but like you know,
I think every time I eat one, so I only have one a year.
the mix is just like gross to me.
The coke on a cherry, but not my dick. But anyway,
It's better.
oh,
Well,
it's
it's a maraschino cherry, so whatever. Yeah, we don't really have any other topics unless you guys want to talk about something out of the blue. I pulled this fucking chocolate thing out of the blue, so.
no, that's fine. I don't really have anything.
But since we're on the Christmas topic, what are some family
Federico's full of shit. He loves dark chocolate, now he loves fucking chocolate oranges. I think he's just saying this so that I hate him.
gag?
I can't stand that shit. It tastes like coke.
It's like, yeah, coconut and chocolate is gross too. Bounty bars? Ugh.
Oh my god, the almond joys and the mounds. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate coconut in general.
Yeah, I don't really have anything.
Well, as I was trying to say, what are some family traditions around Christmas for you guys?
Ugh.
I could start a new tradition. You want to start a new tradition?
Take a tree up your ass?
I feel like the tradition stuff. If I had like a kid or something, I'd do like maybe the like you can get the calendars that you pull back and there's chocolate in there or whatever. Yeah,
Well,
I mean that's fun for kids.
23 advent calendars.
Kit Kat. Cody has Kit Kat for Christmas,
Kit Kat's
which is
pretty
fine. Kit Kat's pretty good.
My tradition. Well, recently I haven't had to put anything together for Wendy for Christmas. Usually I sit down and watch A Christmas Story. I
Yeah.
watch it 45 times in a row.
It's still not going to be a tradition. It's going to be me putting it together still.
I'll still be there. I put together Danielle when Danielle was younger. I put together a dollhouse, and my ex-wife recorded it. And my God, was that an adventure! It took me 5 hours to put together a dollhouse that should have taken 45 minutes.
Why doesn't mine look anything like this? It's a fucking
I
Simpsons.
was drinking at the same time. So it's like,
Well, okay, so yeah, Christmas, it's like family get together. Usually you'll put on like for me, a Christmas movie, whatever is like on regular TV, which is pretty much anything you want. Most of the time it's like Scrooge, they're like the good one. and it's fucking eat nonstop and drink nonstop, and then sleep nonstop.
yeah,
We actually only sleep until Christmas morning.
we will probably, that is probably a tradition that we will start. So I came back home from Minneapolis and drove the River Road, and we used to do that as kids. My mom and dad, when they were still together, we used to go up to my great grandfather's and spend the night over there. And we'd get there we'd be driving at night. You could see all the decorations, and some of the decorations Heather's got to see it, and I want Wendy to see it. So it's pretty cool.
When I was younger, we would go out, like it wouldn't necessarily be like Christmas Eve, but it'd be maybe the day before or whatever, or even Christmas Eve sometimes. And we'd go out and we'd like drive around and look at all the lights and shit like that people have put up. That's something that I did for a long time as a kid, but that's something that I find like interesting. Now I'll go out personally and walk around and look at lights, but I mean, fuck, man, it used to be like the world used to be lit up. Now it's like, oh, hey, nice one lighthouse.
Yeah,
I can see basement walking.
I know, it's just like the sadness inside.
Walking down the street. Oh, got pretty lights. Oh my yard, you heathen.
They start throwing rocks at me.
Yeah, when I was younger, there were two things we would do. Massapequa had what was called the Christmas Village Block.
Could you say that one more time?
Massapequa.
Go ahead.
The only reason I could say it is
I
because
know it is. I'm just giving you shit. Go ahead.
They had this little block that was called the Christmas Village Block. And what it was is they had these houses set up along the stretch on both sides of the block, and the store windows would set up as well. When you got to the end of it, you had Santa's workshop on both sides. But going through, you had elves going. The elf on a shelf was busy reporting to Santa, and then you had another one where it was showing parts of the workshop and all these animatronic dolls in it. But then there was also this other house that we went to that you see these videos of the house with the lights synced up to music.
oh man, I've seen some of those.
This family was one of those. It was one of those houses, one of the first houses to start doing it, and we took a tour of it, and it was the entire yard, the house, and you got up to the door, and it was this tiny little dancing Santa with a jar next to it. It's like, this stuff's not free. Please donate, and we'll keep doing it. So,
there is one thing that I wish
That's
is a
terrible.
tradition that I wish it was still a thing. There used to be, like, around here, they would have a Santa, and it would be in a little house or a little cottage-like type deal. And they set it up on the street, and you could go in there, and you could tell Santa what you wanted for
Get
Christmas.
a good rub and tug, and
Anymore.
yeah, no, there's. It's weird because like in the past, I remember people doing like their own like garage version of like a haunted house. You know what I mean? And you never really had like the same interaction for me at least with Christmas. Christmas was just like, hey, look at these lights, but there's never like to that extent. You can go and see Santa or go through like something a bit more interactive as a kid. Now they have like a bunch of like light shows that you pay X number of dollars and you can go through like an hour light show, but that's in like nature. So you like walk through or you drive through and you see like a bunch of different displays, which is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, we got Cody saying he watches Christmas movies, mostly National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I'll watch that once.
I'll always catch at least 1 to 2 Christmas movies during the week of Christmas, basically.
Well, I will watch A Christmas Carol. I will watch
On Christmas night, the 24 hours of a Christmas
Christmas
story
Story.
that gets turned on immediately, and we're not allowed to change the channel.
Well, you can
Just leave it on. You just leave it on and let it go.
We're watching that movie on repeat.
But National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, I have to watch that. My dad's side of the family, they do Christmas, that show's on. Because they do that for 24 hours on AMC.
Well, they did. It's between that, the basketball game, and Family Stone.
And literally the only time I'll ever drink eggnog is like Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and it's almost always spiked with something because, first of all, anybody that just drinks eggnog by itself is like, man, I don't know. Are you training to be Rocky?
What do you think? I do that. What do you think of me?
Not much.
You're a fucking sicko.
No.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like a very heavy milk is what it tastes like. It tastes like drinking cream.
It actually has egg in it.
I know, but it tastes like drinking cream because it's a heavier drink because of the egg. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
no, I get
you feel the pain.
I can't.
I don't mind it.
Federico's gonna be like, I love eggnog with my dark chocolate and fucking whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, give me coquito instead of fucking eggnog.
You can't have a mojito on Christmas. It's a fucking
Coquito.
coquito. Oh. No, what that is.
It's coquito. It's Mexican.
It's a coquito.
It is basically a Mexican eggnog without the egg.
Or nog. It's just a Mexican kid that we call coquito. So,
Yeah, it's an actual drink and it's an alcoholic beverage.
What's in it?
It's
tequila.
A long recipe, so I
Probably.
can't. Yeah, I think it's tequila.
Eggnog.
No, there's no egg. I just said there was no egg.
Is there egg
Eggnog.
whites?
No. Some people do put egg in it, but for the most part, no egg. It's heavy cream, alcohol, cinnamon, a little sugar.
It's Tom and Jerry. You ever had a Tom and Jerry?
No, I've never
That
heard of that.
sounds
Other
like
than
a gay sex tape.
Thank you.
You've never heard of? Oh my God, Tom and Jerry's. It's like a brandy drink. It's like
Drink half a bottle of brandy while some man sucks you off. It's called the Tom and Jerry. Hey, Federico, I know. I'm in your brain. I'm giving you a Tom and Jerry.
I'm trying to think. Tom, here, let me look it up. God damn, motherfuckers! Y'all act like never heard of it.
I have not.
I think I've heard of it, to be honest. But it's
But
one of
it's
those
not-
things you hear once and never again.
Yeah.
I obviously have heard of Tom and Jerry, the fucking cartoon, but like a drink, I think I've heard of once.
And it is a Tom and Jerry is a traditional Christmas time cocktail in the United States, sometimes attributed to British writer and professional boxing journalist Pierce Egan in the 1820s. It is a variant of eggnog with brandy and rum added and served hot, usually in a mug or a bowl.
Sounds like shit. Let's do
That
it.
is Tom and Jerry. It's really good.
We should just do a show where we try different Christmas drinks and throw up.
And yeah.
Well, I mean, hey,
Right, and I was wrong. It's actually rum in it.
that's a coquito. You said coquito.
I said coquito.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
coquito slap you upside the head.
No, it's got rum, cinnamon, heavy cream, cream of coconut.
Oh God! Not coconut.
It's so little of it though that you don't taste it.
Or do you?
Why fucking put it in there?
I've never heard of a coquito in my life. I might have even had one. So, but I probably didn't.
I mean, the life story.
Die Hard is not a Christmas
Oh my
movie.
fucking god, we're not getting into this
It
debate right
takes
now.
place during Christmas. There's a Christmas party.
Yeah, but what company holds a Christmas party on Christmas Eve?
That company.
It is not a Christmas movie. I will argue that until the day I fucking die.
I feel the Christmas cheer while watching it.
No, you don't.
So
No,
much,
you don't.
So much cheer. So much cheer.
I motherfucker.
When he cuts his
not
feet.
as Christmas cheery
I'm like,
as you
oh my
get.
god, it's like Christmas Day when I walk on glass.
Oh my god, there's a lot in this.
I fucking hate that movie. I hate Die Hard. I think it's a terrible movie.
Man, you are
Okay.
entitled to your opinion. I like Die Hard, but it's not. Die Hard 1 is not my favorite Die Hard.
So for me, and I will justify why I say it's not a Christmas movie. Does it invoke the Christmas spirit?
In me, I want a bunch of people from Eastern Europe to die on Christmas.
Does it invoke the spirit of Christmas, though? Is my point.
The thing is, like, with Die Hard, the only reason it was made a Christmas movie is because anything that could be played over and over again in the holidays is residuals, bitch.
But again, I ask.
No, it's not a Christmas movie, but it's played during Christmas. I don't really give a shit.
Does it happen during Christmas does not make it a Christmas movie. If you're going to go there, Harry Potter is a Christmas movie.
Hey, but you know what? A lot of people watch Harry Potter during Christmas because
They also watch it during Halloween and Thanksgiving.
well, that's why it's so popular because it touches on, honestly, like it's just.
But it doesn't make it a Christmas movie, is what my point.
No, it can be watched during those holidays, and that's why.
Watch a fucking Christmas movie in the middle of July too. I get that.
You can,
but
you know.
I just don't find that it invokes the Christmas. When I think Christmas movie,
You think of killing
the
Eastern
main
Europeans with a machine gun,
find
getting your bloody
the
feet,
spirit of Christmas. That's what Christmas movies
throwing
mean.
Hans Gruber off the top of a building,
If
failing
Hans
to
Gruber
reconnect
would've
with your
fucking-
wife,
if Hans
putting your
Gruber
feet
would've
into
found-
knots.
If Hans Gruber would have found Christmas, then I probably
I'm sure
would
he
have
found
said-
it on the way down.
He found it on the way down.
We
He
just
didn't
never
find
saw it.
on the way there.
It's like the thing is, a lot of movies take place during holidays. I mean, for instance, Hawkeye takes place during Christmas. It's not a Christmas show.
Nope. No.
So, or what was it called? Whatever the fuck it was called. Not
And somebody made the amazing observation that if you start watching Die Hard an hour before midnight on New Year's Eve, Hans will fall and hit the ground at midnight.
perfect. That's all I wanted. I mean, isn't his family at Nakatomi Plaza or whatever the fuck it's called?
His wife is there.
He's
Yeah,
trying.
what's the rest of his family? I thought he only had a wife.
Cody, listen to what you just said. He is trying to get home to spend Christmas with his family. That doesn't make a Christmas movie.
I don't think that's the. He's trying to get back with his wife,
Yes.
and it just so happens to happen at Christmas.
Yes. That doesn't mean that it is a Christmas movie.
I mean, nobody's arguing for Die Hard 2 being a Christmas movie, though it takes place during
Christmas.
The best Die Hard is Die Hard 3, to be honest. And the main reason it's the best is because, like, after it was done, the one of the government agencies, whatever deals with the fucking federal bank, was like, "How did you know this was possible?" Like the actual plan that the bad guys have, it's like it's oddly right that it could be possible for what they did.
Right.
So, and also fucking Samuel Jackson and what's his nuts together as one.
Bullets, yeah.
Yeah, so
Perfect.
no, it is not a Christmas movie, not in my eyes.
No, I like the traditional Christmas movies. Frosty the Snowman, Santa's Coming to Town,
It's a
Rudolph the
Wonderful
Red-Nosed
Life.
Reindeer.
Am,
It's a Wonderful
am,
Life is a good
am
Christmas
I
movie.
the only person? And this is weird because like I went through like I think it was like a poll on Twitter or YouTube or something, right? Like, what are you gonna watch during Christmas? And it was like overwhelmingly high for Elf. I don't care for Elf.
No.
Elf is a good movie to watch one time, and I'm good.
But it's like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah, I found it okay the first time, but it never edged its way into like that Christmas lore of things I could watch over and over and over again.
No,
I mean, it's okay, but
I've got Wendy. Wendy and I watched the Santa Claus. We're gonna watch A Christmas Carol. She'll watch that. The cartoon one with Jim Carrey.
She watched it last year.
Yep, she watched that. We'll watch.
I mean, Elf
The
is
Grinch.
definitely a Christmas movie. It's just like it's not in the upper echelon of Christmas movies that it somehow squirmed its way into. It's in
Right.
the like it was in the conversation with the Scrooge and A Christmas Story and I guess Miracle on 34th or Wonderful, like any of the like big ones. It was in conversation with that. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
What? Who? What?
Elf.
Oh God, no! Not even close. It's okay, Cody. I don't understand why people think that it's a Christmas. I just don't get it.
It's Christmas to me.
But yeah, so let me see what else. I know we're not going to do our Christmas movie thing. We could do Christmas show thing
Well, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
where we put together Christmas shows.
But the trivia thing that we did last year with Connor. Last year. That Christmas trivia.
Oh yeah. We might do like a variation one night for it. I feel like we're getting close to Christmas now, so if we devote like I know Buck's given to more like Christmas oriented topics potentially.
Yep. I am off for 2 weeks.
After that point, yep.
I mean, what we might do is we might look at like maybe do like a tier list or something like that for Christmas movies, and just see where they end up for us with the visual added, and just talk Christmas in general. I mean, some of this was Christmas, but why the fuck not? We're in December.
We ran out of stories, so
Well, the thing is, I don't really give a fucking shit about the news half the time. So
yeah, I'm the same.
I'm getting there.
I want to be like aware of things that happen, but it's also like
I don't want to have a 6-hour conversation about it.
it's becoming investing in Raw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
The old Raw, not the new Raw, the old Raw.
I have to watch fucking 12 hours of fucking wrestling to talk about wrestling for 1 hour and be like, what is my life?
Right.
Yeah, we can include the Polar Express, though. That is one I have seen snippets of. I've never seen in its entirety.
All right.
That movie, it's okay.
So
I feel
something I would
like
actually volunteer to sit down and watch.
It kind of seems to be.
Actually, he's telling the story of when he was a little boy and how he couldn't hear it's
I know enough about it to be like I get what you're saying. It's just
the one movie that fucking confused the fuck out of me was The Golden Compass.
It's
I
not
read the
Christmas.
book because I had to.
It's
The
not
Golden
Christmas.
Compass is not a Christmas story. It's a fantasy story. It does have like winter elements.
I mean, I'm just curious. I thought we were talking about Christmas, and you brought up Golden Compass. Whatever.
Because it's along the same stylings as Polar Express.
Yeah, it has a lot of
Actually, about Christmas.
creepy animation.
Yeah. Okay, so any of you new parents out there and you want to show this to your children, please be warned. They may have nightmares over it, even though it's a Christmas movie.
It's
Polar Express. Yeah, Polar Express is like
The scene on top of the train. Oh my god!
It's like I said, I haven't seen it, but I've seen enough of it to know that it's a weird fucking movie.
It's very, very weird.
I've seen like when they get to like Santa's workshop or whatever, the North Pole, it looks like fucking Germany. It's like the Third Reich is coming out to greet them. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these like Christmas movies, it's like, don't look too deep, or else you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot. I mean, people are complaining about the fucking comedic section of the misspelling of Santa in the Santa Claus series. It's like, did you not watch the third?
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with the spelling?
They spelled Santa out as Satan.
The Santa Claus.
Oh, in that like little excerpt, not in the actual.
If you look close enough and you see the giant toy soldiers, they're essentially goose stepping out.
But it's like a screenshot. It's not like a publicized visual of them saying Satan Claus.
No, it was a scene in the show that was still left in the show where he sits there, he looks at this guy spelling, and then they switch the gloves around.
That's fine.
And it to be a joke.
That's fine. I mean, nobody can take one anymore.
Oh, that's in the shows that
best Ernest movie is the fucking Halloween one. Fight me. With the troll and the tree.
Best one is Ernest Goes to Jail.
No, man. The one with the troll. I had fucking nightmares over that fucking troll. That troll was creepy as shit. He used to turn people to like little wooden statues and put them in a tree.
I remember when I was a kid.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Show. It was on Saturday mornings. And he carried around that fucking turtle.
Then he debuted in wrestling, and I was like, what the fuck?
Ernest gives me fucking nightmares. Fuck the troll.
No, man, the troll was everything was slimy as shit. Ernest Scared Stupid is probably, like, in my opinion, it's the best Ernest I've seen.
I've never watched the movie.
Oh, man, we got to, because I'm looking at it through rose-colored glasses. If I watched it now, I'd be like, what the fuck?
That's what we need to do. We need to get everybody together and just do a group watch along of all the Ernest movies.
Oh, yeah. I don't, like, I vaguely remember. I remember Ernest Scared Stupid more. Just like, honestly, if the movie's an hour and a half, I remember 5 minutes of the movie. But the rest of the Ernest movies, I remember next to nothing.
Ernest was scared stupid? I thought he was already fucking stupid.
Ernest Born Stupid. The John Cena story.
Yes! Oh, we need to make that comparison when we're watching the movies.
Why would you name a movie Ernest Scared Stupid?
Because it was a Halloween movie.
Motherfucker's already stupid. Yes, he's scared stupid.
And fucking troll was turning people into wooden objects. That shit was creepy, man. And the troll was creepy because he was like a midget. He was like a tanky midget. It was weird, man.
Movie Ernest Scared Even Dumber. That's what I would have fucking said.
No, that movie was fucking 10 out of 10 when I was a kid. Now it's probably like a -18, but I need to watch it again to find out. But yeah, there's not really more for us to rehash here. We made the best of what we had. It was majority Brittney Griner. Grinder. Oh god. That's what she's on.
She's on something. Either that or residue. Put her in fucking jail for a couple of months.
Now my mouse is not responding.
Her for an arms dealer. How does that fucking work? Jesus Christ. Fuck my life. I defended this country for that. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, my mouse isn't working, so...
Oh, that's fun.
What is happening? Is like fucking some sort of interference in my world?
Boogity boogity, motherfucker.
God, I'm scared stupid.
Scared even dumber.
Ernest goes to the army. Oh god, no. He gets traded. Ernest gets traded for Brittney Griner. Anyways, thanks everybody for hanging out with us in the chat. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. We'll be back again sometime this week. I'm going to be starting a game. Probably not tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Monday or Tuesday. And Wednesday we'll be back for group gaming. And we'll get a bit more Christmassy as time goes on. You never know. And then when Wakanda Forever comes out, we'll watch it.
We finish off
fuck
the
that
table
is.
and Harry Potter.
Oh. You're a wizard, Harry. Now suck my dick.
Okay, it's Harry Potter and the story of. I shouldn't have said that.
Harry Potter and the story of